Dude, so I was watching so many debates today, and I have the luxury and the privilege to do that because of my job. I'm able to just put earphones on and just listen all day. Dave Smith had some very compelling points to bring out today, as well as a few others that I don't know by name. But one thing I did notice is that people love, when it comes to political or just politics in general, people love to wield that Constitution in their favor at all times. Well, according to the Constitution, this goes for Dave Smith as well. According to the Constitution, bro, no one follows the Constitution, bro. It's no different from the Bible. All right, the Constitution, where you lose me at that is that each fucking section of the Constitution has like a billion laws per state. And you could be this in one state and that in one state. You could have a DUI and have a license in one state. You can have a license and they don't even acknowledge your DUI in another state. All right, so this whole federal US United States Constitution bullshit needs to just fucking stop because the Constitution was, and according to my understanding, was made to be amended and changed. The problem that I have with the Constitution as well, and again with religion and when they wield the Bible and like it just whatever conveniences them, whatever could back up their statement at that point, at that moment, they're just going to bring up this is unconstitutional or this is not how the Bible describes. This is how it's supposed to be. I'm just in the practice of common sense. What's logical? Is this right or is that right? When it comes to the Constitution and they're like, well, you shouldn't start wars and all this shit, as far as Trump goes. Well, he's doing surgical fucking strategic things, and it's not all Trump, right? He's a businessman. So obviously he has advisors that are coming in. And if we can, for the sake of just an unpredicted attack to the United States, if we could just go in there and surgically remove someone from their current position, and I'm talking specifically in Venezuela, then I could give two fucks about the Constitution if it's going to save American lives and troops. You want to go to Congress and start making plans publicly. I understand this is the thing with the Constitution. The whole shit needs to change. It's no different from my child custody case, right? It always has to be amended because right now the custody agreement is it's it's formed from when my daughter was a toddler. And after being a toddler, a young child, now she's a teenager. So the our agreement needs to be amended for obvious reasons. And if you don't have a child, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But if you do have a child and you're not with the child, if it's not a nuclear family, then you have to adjust the child custody agreement as time goes on. It cannot stay the same. It cannot stay the same. It has to be changed. And I don't want to go into great detail with that right now. But the Constitution that we have now, all right, yeah, we can follow all of that and follow the rules because, like, now when Trump does something, everyone wants to follow the rules in the Constitution. But you don't want to follow the Constitution when it comes to just allowing people to just flood into this country, which is against the law to do. But because, for the sake of them, you not wanting to judge or paint all of them with one brush, saying that they're not all of them are trying to take advantage of the system, you just allow them in and you just break all the rules. So you can't have it both ways. And if I was a strategic um let's say leader or a general or someone that's just making a plan right now in today's technology, no, you cannot sit there and have discussions in Congress which would take months to execute. No, in some cases you have to overstep that congressional hearing to get what needs to get done. because all that's going to happen is that information is going to leak to the other side, and you're going to make it impossible to capture who they just captured in Venezuela, Mr. Maduro and his wife. Because if you would have been having conversations about that shit in Congress, and then AOC or someone just disagrees, and now they're just planning and preparing, and it's going to cause American lives. Because now they're ready, and now we have to go in there because they've been preparing for months, that knowing that Donald Trump was going to go in there. I'm just going to use Trump as an example because he's not the one that's actually, he's not the think tank. He hires a think tank and he executes by saying, yes, that's a great idea. Let's do it. The way he did it was strategic. No American lives lost, excuse me. It was in and out, done, done. There's nothing wrong with that. Then fuck the Constitution at this point because you got, again, you're wielding the Constitution that fits your narrative, but you don't want to follow it in whole. And not only that, it's very rich and entertaining. Excuse me, I meant to say interesting, but it's equally entertaining when you have congressional men and women that half of them don't even know what a man or a woman is, that are saying that the majority of the ICE officers are not trained well enough and they're not qualified to be in that position. Well, I'm sorry. 80% of the congressional women and men that I see are not qualified to be congressmen or women or Congress its, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because you guys are confused. You can't even name what a woman is. You have someone in the Supreme Court right now that can't even define a woman by saying a woman or a female is someone that gives birth, that is capable of it's very simple. What is a woman? Well, a woman can give birth to a child, a man can't. That's a very simple fucking, like, it doesn't get more simple than that. But we want to complicate things. We want to put, it's just like, okay, did you know, sir, that you can walk to the bathroom or you can sit down to eat breakfast? It's just like, oh, wow, can I do that? Yes, you can, sir. It's very simple. You could just walk over to the bathroom, urinate, lift the toilet seat, flush it when you're done. But, with these politicians, they want to play games like, okay, but first you have to wake up out of your sleep. And then when you get out of your bed, you might want to put your left foot down before your right foot, because if you don't put your left foot down before your right foot, you may stumble. And when you get up, don't get up too fast because you might have high blood pressure or low blood pressure. You might be diabetic and you might get lightheaded. But then if you get lightheaded, just sit back down just a little bit, then get back up. And when you walk in, make sure you turn the lights on so you don't bump into items, because if you bump into items, you may hurt yourself. Although you're about 26 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are just being fucking ridiculous over this shit. Okay? If you need to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom. If you're thirsty, drink water. You don't have to say, well, you don't have to break everything down into semantics or however you want to put it, however you want to call it. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous, all right? Donald Trump stop the regime from going any further by strategically removing him. But no, Congress, you know what they want? They want all the permission to say, you know what? Yeah, you can do that, but you could do it in 7 months. And then it gives the other side time to prepare. And now you have to, not only did you get permission, but now you are going to use that permission slip to go into Venezuela, and then fucking hundreds of American soldiers die because these guys were prepared ahead of time. Fuck that, and fuck you for even thinking that way. Same thing with ICE. ICE can easily go into these territories just like they have in Florida, just like they have in Louisiana and other places that I can't name off the top of my head. Forgive me. But they're going to the jail cells, or even Gavin Newsom admitted it. 10,000 illegal immigrants were deported by ICE going into the jail cells. No riots, No protests, no resistance. They're already in jail. You take them from their jail cell to the car to the airport. Get the fuck out of here. Very simple. But you guys want to play games, and it's just like, no, we need to tell you where ICE is because we need to resist what? The real problem that's going on here, and we're going to get into some of these videos that we're doing. I just wanted to give a little monologue or a little introduction, however you want to say it. The problem is that if you get all these illegal immigrants that are coming into these quote sanctuary cities, now you have now not only do they fight for those immigrants to be able to get into those cities. That's why they say it's not our problem if they're here illegally. The federal government let them in. Why did the federal government let them in? Oh, well, but if the federal government wants to come and get them, they have to do it on their own terms because we're not going to do anything about it. What we're going to do is take the taxpayer, we're going to go into the pot that we accumulate through the taxpayer that works every single motherfucking day, overtime, double time, triple time, and then we're going to allow these immigrants to come in because they just need so much help, right? You know, they're coming in from the fucking southern border and then going 75% across the fucking country. And then you allow them in, and then you're like, you know what? You don't need ID to vote. Don't worry about that. You don't, what do you need ID to vote? That's stupid. Who does that? Who asks for ID to vote? Oh, you need an ID to get a driver's license? No, here's a driver's license. It's fucking insane. And the reason why they're doing this and they're catering to these people is because they're going to get votes. It's very simple. It's not hard to see. It's cut and dry. ABC, one, two, three. What the fuck else do you need to understand about that? But a lot of you are playing stupid because money comes into play. And then what the media does, because they're on Team Democrat, because they're getting all their money and sources, like their resources from Democrats, from the taxpayers, right? Because these news networks, they get paid somehow, some way. Sponsors, taxpayers, however you want to fucking put it. So now, yeah, of course they're going to defend these people. Of course, Tim Walz is going to come up online and say, yeah, leave my people alone. You need to vote. You need to vote. Take them away in what you have. You don't have a vote. You're not protecting them. You could give two fucks about them. Do you really care about them? No, you don't. Because if you really cared about them, you wouldn't have allowed these Somalis in Minnesota to commit all this fraud, and now they're in a position where they got caught. I bet none of you thought in a million years that technology will be so advanced to the point where a YouTuber can go into a place or to a state and visit places and broadcast it where you get damn near fucking 200 million views like that. And you're blaming Nick Shirley for that. That's fucking crazy. And then the Somalis are blaming racism over that. No, it's very simple. And at this point, I'm not even mad at you guys. I understand. The United States of America went over there to Somalia and fucked shit up. Although you guys were getting fucked up, we were just trying to help, from my understanding. We didn't, what interest do we have to go to Somalia? Because the UN wasn't doing shit. The people that were sent there weren't doing shit. So all we try to do was capture someone so they could get the fuck out of that situation so we could try to help you. And you guys turned that shit around to the other way. And you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have went over there and we wouldn't have had this problem. But at the same time, maybe we shouldn't have accepted any of yous here and we wouldn't have this problem. It can't go both ways. It can't be both ways. It's one or the other. So now you're invited into the country, and I'm not blaming all Somalians. I'm talking in general because there's a lot of fraud that's about to get debunked. You guys come into the country, you're saying that you have daycares, you have all of these fucking shops going on, and who's paying for it? It's not the government, dude. It's us, the people. We pay into the government. They're reallocating those funds so you guys can sit there and just hang out and chill while you have actual Americans that are fucking suffering, bro. We're fucking suffering. And you guys are just fucking chilling, and then you're gonna get mad for us pointing that shit out. We're fucking tired of paying for other people to do shit. What the fuck is the difference of slavery? You're literally enslaving the people of the United States for the benefit of fucking illegal people coming into this country. And it's not only illegal people, it's the migrants that you move in that are refugees and you're just handing them all this shit. I wouldn't have a problem with any of this if we all had our shit together. And I had a friend that was like, well, it's not the illegal immigrants or the migrants. Yeah, it's everything in total, dude. It's the government, it's the illegal immigrants, the legal immigrants. We don't have time for this shit. We don't have the room for it. We need to heal ourselves first. It's no different from getting out of a 20-year marriage that you just found out you were cheating on. And then what are you going to do? Run to the next person, to get in the same situation. You have to give yourself time to heal. We need a time to heal. After this whole entire fucking COVID situation, we need time to heal. We don't have time or the resources to just be giving our shit out. And not only that, these guys are just hanging out in these fucking child centers while other people are paying for it. That's the fucking problem, bro. $8 million a day is fucking insane. This is not okay. And when people are wielding the Constitution, well, it's unconstitutional to do this and that. It's unconstitutional for these fucking people in office to be doing what they're doing. Where's the outrage there? It's no different from the Black Panthers coming into Pennsylvania and they're trying to act all badass towards ICE. Go to fucking Chicago with that same energy so you can stop black people eradicating black people. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? And it's just not black on black crime, but that is a fucking serious issue in the black community where you guys are focused on ICE trying to get immigrants out so your taxpayer dollars can be allocated in the right fucking way. So we can have people in Chicago with proper schools or people in New York City with proper schools, the proper funding for buses, computers, food, and all of that. What the fuck are we talking about here? So when it comes to America first, and when Donald Trump says America first, yes, America first, but we also still have to take care of business, right? I'm going to take care of my household first, but I still have to step out of my household and generate that money somehow, some way. It's not going to just be me staying home and it's just like, oh yeah, my house comes first, but yeah, you have to take care of other business as well. And right now, we have a lot of business to do around the world because people are taking full advantage of us. And it's crazy because you're like, this is unconstitutional. I'm fucking tired of hearing that shit. What's unconstitutional is allowing people to come into this country and take money from me. And then you want me to blame the government? Yeah, I blame the government, but I also blame the people that are willy-nilly coming in here and just like literally taking advantage of us. These Somali people, you think they give a fuck? They just blaming racism and how we're trying to destroy their community. No, we're not. We're trying to build every community here in the United States, but you have to work. You have to do something for it. You're not being productive assets to the United States of America. Imagine if you took that $9 million or whatever each day and actually fucking produced like results. Instead, you're taking the money out of the country. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not okay with it. So let's just go through a few videos here because I just mumbled my mouth off. And let's see what the fuck is going on around the world really quick because I heard this Sundays are supposed to be fun days for me. I'm supposed to like analyze and just laugh at videos, but there's so much shit going on. We'll start with Osman.
10 Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives,
I don't know what's going on here. What the fuck is
doing
going on here
absolutely
now?
nothing for your. As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters.
Anti-ICE protesters turning to churches in Minneapolis and shutting down service. I don't know why they don't arrest these people. I mean, they're going in here and they're interrupting religious services. This is crazy. And so this
It's not freedom
is
of
another
speech.
group of people here. They're forcing this guy to take off his.
Hold on. I don't know what the fuck is going on, and it's really irritating the fuck out of me really quick. So just give me a second so I can adjust some stuff. First of all, Osman should not be on that side of the spectrum. Let's put him there and continue.
American flag shirt or hoodie or something like that, going around like a mob and making people change their clothes. How is Trump okay with this? I don't know why he's okay with it. They need to do something about this. It's getting crazy. Take it off.
Yeah,
They're making
you're
the guy take.
infringing on our freedom of speech. I don't know why the fuck what's happening actually. Let's try to I guess mitigate these things that's going on. Okay, we're good. We're back in the share mode. Let's see if it runs smoothly.
Take
Not
off
sure
his
what the
jacket.
fuck is
Man in
going on.
Minneapolis is being confronted and
All right, we saw enough of that. Again, I don't know what the fuck is going on there, why it's lagging the way it is. Probably a bad hair day or computer day for my laptop Rooney. But okay,
Was in a
we're
protest in Minneapolis, Minnesota yesterday with this firearm out in the open. And I've watched all of the footage that I could possibly find on this. I didn't see him pointed at anybody. I didn't see him threaten anybody. He didn't menace nobody. He didn't hurt not a single soul. He was just out there practicing his constitutional right to be able
and
to
he
carry,
should.
and he followed the law. And yet somehow I still see a whole bunch of people freaking out online about him having this firearm. You're weird as fuck for that. If he's not
No, and yo, it's crazy because like normally I wouldn't agree with this, but he is being responsible. Let's see if he's being really responsible though. Where's his finger on that trigger? I don't know. I don't see his finger on it. Hopefully it's not. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's his constitutional right, and we should be proud that someone is willing to do that.
breaking any laws and he's exercising his constitutional rights and you have a problem with that, that's your problem, not anybody else's. Maybe
True.
people don't like it because they assume he's on the left, or maybe they don't like it because he's black. But constitutional rights apply to every citizen in this country, and they're not suggestions, bruh. I stand for that dude's rights whether I agree with him or not. He could hate me and think that I deserve to die, but as long as he's not hurting nobody with that gun, he has the right to do what he's doing. All can't have it both ways, man. If one of
That's
us
right.
has rights, then we all gotta have them. But
That's right. He was about to say, "What do you think?" Tell me in the comments, right? Because I watch him every day.
what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments.
I love that dude. No, and it's more like I said before. He came off so brash at first. It was annoying to listen to. I'm just like, why is this motherfucker always fucking yelling? But dude, the logic. Yeah, that's all I want is the truth and logic. Like, that's it. That's it. And I'll tell you right now, if he was to get an offer to start bullshitting, he'll tell them to go take that offer and he'll probably shove it up their ass himself. Like straight up, dude. JD Delay. I used to call him Delaney for some reason. I don't know why. I think I knew someone that was like a Delaney or whatever. But it's JD Delay and yeah, he's awesome. Absolutely. What the fuck is it? Osman Gold again? Hopefully your video is gonna stream properly because what the fuck just happened before?
owned by a Karen who thinks he's an ICE agent. Oh boy, now we have
It's
these
always
wild
Osmond.
Karens that are going around attacking random people
I don't think they
that
like you,
look
dude.
like ICE. The Karen SS.
What's up?
Hi, are you law enforcement?
Huh?
Are you law enforcement? Are you law enforcement?
No, why?
Are you law enforcement?
No, why?
Are you law enforcement?
Mental illness.
Bro, is this a simulation? Oh, is this like one of those
Law
ice things or something?
Cool, thank you. Good to know. Are you law enforcement? I'm just gonna grab your card here. Yeah, it looks like you're law enforcement.
Because it's a white guy?
It's one of those people, dude.
Do you have your flashers on?
How,
Are you law
how'd you know I was law enforcement?
That's not real. I'm gonna tell you right now, Osmond, if you're watching this, well, not watching me, but watching, it's not a real clip. It's obviously a stage. I don't like staged bullshit. What the fuck is this? But you see how everything else works fine, but when it comes to Osmond Gold, I don't know if there's people like, I don't get it. So this is Benny Johnson. Get to the fucking point,
selling
Benny.
their soul literally to Satan in order to be
I already saw that. What? How old is this shit? And why is this popping up now? 12 hours ago? Dude, this is old news. I love you, but no, I'm not interested. I guess I'm done for the day. Look, I didn't even want to come on and talk some serious shit. I wanted to talk about the Constitution and whatever, but look, if you have a fucking brain over on your head, in your head, excuse me, you will know that yes, there are people who wield the Constitution when it's convenient for them. It's just like, he's not following the Constitution. Well, none of y'all fucking do. Yeah, all honest about what you do in this life. All right, you want to talk about the Constitution and how it's supposed to uphold the law? It doesn't, obviously. When you have rogue judges and rogue Supreme Court, you know, when the Constitution lost me is when people just started saying, look, this is when everything started changing for me. If you don't know the difference between a man and a woman, I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about the Constitution. Let's start there, man and woman, and then we could take it to other places. But if you're asking me to be convinced that the president should sit there and ask permission to make strategic moves to put the world in a better place for the sake of the Constitution, no, I ain't buying that shit. Yeah, that shit's for the fucking birds, bro. That shit's for the birds. That's no different from saying if it says 45, you should do 45. If you don't do 45, if you do 46, then you should be pulled over. And yeah, it may sound corny, but it's the general principle of the matter. If you're gonna abide by the Bible and you're a Christian or a Jew, then you're gonna follow it through and through. Or you're just gonna pick and choose what you want to what's convenient, right? Because that's why there's 30. It's just like tens of thousands of different denominations of what the interpretations of the Bible. And in this case, we're taking the Constitution and interpreting it either way that we want. That's what the Supreme Court does, right? That's what judges do. They interpret the law. And according to one of our judges that we saw on display, she couldn't even fucking tell you what a woman was. Although she's a woman, probably has kids. Let's start there. Can a man have kids? You know, you had Josh Hawley, one of the senators, asking a doctor, can a man get pregnant? She couldn't answer the question. Well, fuck your whole Constitution right there. I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about anything that has to do with interpreting how it's supposed to be. All right? Simple as that. If you want to oversimplify things, then be my fucking guest. But it's not going to work on me. You're not going to convince me that, 1 + 1 is 2 or 1 + 1 is 3. You know what I meant. But that's the point. I'm fucking over it. You guys have, and that's between the left and the right. And yes, I identify as a Republican at this point because I'm on that side. If they can define what a woman is, we're good. If you know the difference between men and women sports or women and men sports or whatever, if you want to have that discussion and you call yourself a Republican, I want nothing to do with it. But as far as what I'm experiencing right now is that Republicans are on the right side of history. You guys on the left and Democrats or whoever else, you want to start fucking complicating life further than the complications of what it is. You want to go out there and help other countries and bring all these people in for the sake of what? Votes? That's not being a patriot. You're willing to allow a city to burn down before you lose a vote in your seat in the House because what happens is it's a very comfortable lifestyle to be in a position of power. You have all this power, you know people. That's a hard thing to let go of, bro. Power is a very hard thing to let go of. You can have no money and still have power that gives you access to money, but you can have all the money in the world that doesn't give you power, dude. I'm sorry. Because if money can just give you power and buy yourself into a situation, then Kamala Harris wouldn't have fucking lost $1.5 billion, lost another 20, or was in debt for $20 million, and then try to sell a bullshit book to try to crawl herself out of it. And you know what? They probably somehow, some way laundered the money to go back to make it seem like she had all these book sales so she can get back on her feet. Because as far as I know, she was a prosecutor, then she was the vice president, then running for a presidency, and then her and her husband just bought a $8 million fucking house. Yo, what the fuck are we doing, dude? That's not public service. That is some insider fucking bullshit, and it needs to fucking stop. So when you guys talk about the Constitution, if the Constitution is going to keep enabling people to walk into a fucking office as a public servant, making X amount of dollars to come out millionaires, then you fucking lost me a long fucking time ago. If democracy is going to sit there and enrich people that come into the office to try to help other people and you walk out a rich, popular, fucking famous person, you fucking lost me on democracy, bro.